it's talking Reds and it's game day. It's Liverpool v Spartak Moscow. It's a must-win for the Reds. It's the game where we'll decide whether Liverpool get out of this group or not. They need to win ideally. They can get away with a draw, although Jurgen Klopp yesterday talked about they're not going to go for a draw. I don't think they should do either. So yeah, game day, the best day. Spartak are in town. I've seen them on the coach before. The fans are in town as well. A lot of them arrived last night to a huge welcome from lots and lots of police. That'll be their reputation. So yeah, you're looking forward to it then, and how do you see it going?
Yeah, first of all, I love Liverpool on the day of a European game when you see the away fans, and usually they congregate around Matthew Street or one of the squares in town. It's dead exciting. It always gets me up for the game. I'm looking forward to it. Look, you know, it feels like it should be one where we just go out, do the business, get the win, and it's all easy. But remember how Olympiacos went? Remember, there's been countless games like that where it's come down to the wire. And you know, we've not been in the knockout stages of a Champions League since 2008, I think it is. So 9 years. That's a generation of Liverpool fans haven't seen Liverpool in the knockouts of the Champions League. So that's really exciting in itself. In terms of the game, it's going to be quite difficult in choosing who starts, who plays, because there's been that much rotation. But you get the feeling that maybe the rotation over the last 30 days has been with this and Everton in mind.
Yeah. I think so too as well. I think you know, there's been some very careful management from Jurgen Klopp in terms of minutes of players and things like that. In terms of what we're likely to face, Klopp's always very keen to talk about how only the most recent match matters really. And so, you know, it's quite a while now since we played Spartak away. We obviously should have won that game. We had 17 shots, they had 3. The keeper's not the best on their goal, on the free kick. Lots and lots of chances, really frustrating day. I think what's different though is you look back at the highlights of that game I did yesterday, and Liverpool weren't confident in front of goal. They're snatching at chances. All the players really were missing chances that you'd expect them to score. And I think it's the complete opposite now. All the chances are going in. You know, we're racking up 3 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals. And, you know, a lot of talk about this Quincy Promes, who plays for Spartak. He was missing in that game. He's back for tonight. Pacey player, being compared to Sadio Mane. Being some suggestion that he could cause Liverpool some problems. A couple of other players as well. I mean, on the sort of Spartak side of things, if you want more on how good they are, how they've been playing, some really good stuff on the Anfield app right now, on the website, anfieldapp.com. Josh spoke to John Bradley, who you may know as being a commentator on LFC TV, but he also does commentary on Russian games. He watches a lot of Russian football, and he's very much a Russian football expert. And so that's a Q&A with John on the website, worth a read. But also on Tour Player as well, we spoke to Sasha Goranov as part of our Under the Lights show. Sasha, very unique in that he's red, a Russian. He's from over there, but he's been over here for a long time. He's got a bit of a Scouse twang, lovely lad, knows his Russian football as well, knows all about Spartak and knows about the Reds. So he's a very interesting listen as well. In terms of Liverpool then, I mean, as you say, Craig, it's been a long time since we reached the knockout stages. The last time, 2008, was when we were beating Madrid home and away in the group stages. We went on to reach the quarters, lost to Chelsea. We failed to get out the group in 09 and 10 and 14, 15. And really to make a statement, Liverpool now, about where they are, a statement to potential, you know, to aid potential recruitment as well. Liverpool have got to be in the last 16 of the Champions League and do it regularly as well. For me as well, I think it's worth mentioning that in pressure games at home, under Klopp, I think we've been pretty good. You know, you think about Middlesbrough, where we had to win it to get that 4th place. We won it. You think about Hoffenheim. A lot of people were getting a bit worried about that game. We blew them away. And other big games as well, you know, Dortmund, United in the Europa, Villarreal. I mean, Liverpool haven't lost at home since April, and unbeaten in 12 European games as well. So, I mean, I think we can big Spartak up a little bit and say that, you know, they can be a test. They beat Sevilla 5-1 and that sort of thing. They're probably not mugs, but nevertheless, you think Liverpool will have too much.
Yeah, definitely. Look, this is the Liverpool side that have lost once in the last 14 games. They've finally clicked, and it's night and day between this game and the away fixture in Moscow. I just think, as you said, it was a team that weren't ruthless in front of goal, were low on confidence, and this team now have clicked, and they're on a bit of a roll, and they'll be confident. And I don't think Jurgen Klopp takes many risks tonight either. I don't think we'll see midfielders in defence. I think I'd imagine he'll go Karius probably. I would rather he didn't. I'd rather he just went for Mignolet, because he's our best keeper and this is a big game and I want to see us get through to the knockouts without any risk being taken. But I think in terms of the attack, I think he just goes as strong as he can. Firmino, Salah, Mane, Coutinho midfield. Gomez probably at the back.
Yeah, in his press conference he said Klavan and Gomez are available. Matip and Lallana still out. So yeah, as you say, you would imagine that the defence looks more like an actual defence and not a group of midfielders going, what am I doing here? I mean, I don't think it's unfair to have a look at what could happen if we get to tonight, because come on, we probably are, aren't we? So let's do that quickly. If we win the group, we can get Basel, Bayern Munich, Juventus, Shakhtar or Napoli, Porto or Leipzig, or Real Madrid. If we finish second, we can get PSG, Roma, Barcelona or Besiktas. So lots of tasty encounters there potentially for the Reds. I mean, what would you fancy out of them, Craig?
I'd say win tonight, get Porto. Let's go to Portugal in February.
Absolute shout.
Yeah, and it's a game that we should win. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm after.
All right, stay with us. We're going to have a look at the papers next. All right, today's papers then. Not a lot in the papers today. A lot of the sport pages obviously concentrating on results in the Champions League last night and things like that, and previewing the games tonight. Everyone's bigging up the Liverpool game, and rightly so. The Guardian there saying Klopp orders Liverpool to take an all or nothing approach against Spartak. As we said in the first part, you can't really see them sort of playing out for a draw or anything like that. The back of the Mirror goes even harder, calls it a cop final. I really hope that people sort of take that on board and what the manager was saying as well, and go to Anfield tonight with the right attitude. Let's create a boss atmosphere, let's do the famous European night thing, and let's get through. Elsewhere, back at the Times today, this made me laugh. Conte, they obviously got knocked into second place with their draw with Atletico Madrid last night. Roma topped them in the group, and it seems he's a little bit unhappy about that, and he said their English rivals had it easy, moans Conte. This is another example of what is the point in saying that? You know what I mean? There's so many things that you see in the papers from managers' mouths, and you just think, well, how does that help anyone? It was a group, it was a draw. It's supposed to be fairly random, even though that Champions League draw is absolutely scatty and no one understands what's going on. So to moan about people having easy draws, what's the point?
It sounds like sour grapes to me, Gareth. Honestly, he's obviously had not a very good night last night, and he's decided to moan about us. Let him.
Maybe his wig fell off or something. Okay. So what else is going on? Oh yeah, Joe Royle's left Everton. Now, if you watched yesterday's Talking Reds, we were talking about we were wondering who had the biggest head to ever manage Everton Football Club. We wondered whether it could be Joe Royle or could it be Sam Allardyce. And so now I'm wondering, now that news is broken this morning that Joe Royle's left, is it simply because they thought there's no way we can get both of their heads in the Everton dugout? I mean, let us know if you've got any inside knowledge around that.
They'd both fit in the trophy room anyway, wouldn't they?
Loads of space in there. See what you did there? Okay, and there's not, as I say, not much else in the papers, not much speculation in terms of January or new names are being linked with. When that happens, we will talk about it on here. We will talk about it on our subscription podcast, particularly The Gutter, which focuses on transfer gossip. But just last of all, just wanted to say, if like me, you're an absolute blurt and you've reached this stage of December and not even thought about presents, well, a wonderful gift for every Red in your life. Craig.
No, not me.
No, not Craig. Not Craig. Craig's not for sale, but Craig will tell you.
No, it's so you might have seen it on our Twitter channel that each day throughout the first 12 days of Christmas, we're giving 10% off on a particular product in our shop. So today it's 10% off 12 month subscriptions, got there in the end, 12 month subscriptions. So that's just for today, and you get a nice gift card. You can sign it in. We'll start the subscription at any time you want. So if you want to start on the 25th, we can do that. You just input the date. So yeah, perfect gift for the red in your life.
I mean, look, we're bound to say the Anfield app's good and that tour player is good, but lots of people do say that. We do surveys with our subscribers to check that they're liking what we do, to get feedback on our content, and most of them, vast majority, 90% stay with us. So we must be doing something right. So it could be a good gift for the red in your life. And I've just remembered that I nearly missed out a story. Which was this. Where are we?
Oh yes. Here we go.
So here we go. So I was going through the papers this morning, saying, it's not much here, is there? And then I was on the Mirror's website and I found this. Oh yeah.
Giggity.
Spartak Moscow doctor bans players from sex ahead of Crunch Champions League clash against Liverpool. Okay. So the doctor has said, Gamiva, a fully trained cardiologist, it says here, she believes sex immediately before a match hinders Spartak's players. She says, from a medical point of view, sex stimulates the ability to work only in women. So there you go, hang on. In martial arts, it happens that a female athlete could fight just 5 or 10 minutes after having sex, and her results would be better. But it works the other way round for men. They should avoid sex 2 or 3 days before the football game. Now, just to add on this, Craig, obviously I have to sort of print off these stories and then we talk about them in front of a camera. And it just so happened that when I printed off this story, a girl who works in our office complex picked up all these sheets of paper that I'd printed out and just basically, it's printed out some of the pictures of the Spartak doctor, and, she just happens to look like that and like that. And now Emily at Avenue HQ thinks I'm a bit of a perv. I'm not, am I, mate? I'm all right. I'm nice, aren't I? Come on, back me up quick. Any thoughts on the story?
It's obviously they're doing everything that they can to win. They're not cutting any corners, and fair play to them.
Listen, if you can get off early today, if you can get into town and have a pint, if you can get round Anfield and have a pint, get yourself in the mood, get yourself into Anfield early, create an atmosphere, and let's, whatever they're doing to try and win this match, let's forget all about that. Let's help Liverpool win it. Let's get in the knockout stages of the Champions League, because how boss would that be? Up the Reds, this has been Talking Reds.